Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the tradingsyndicate.org. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Juan, how are you? Nate, what's up, Rasto? Lonigan, how you guys doing? Hey, Jiraj. Happy Friday, everyone. So, my friends, are you noticing a pattern? I know it's the first question. Are you guys awake? Are you noticing a pattern? Right. Well, here it is. It's move up, liquidate into a B profile, back up, distribute, liquidate into a B profile, back up, distribute. You sort of see the business now, right? For those of you who've been with me for some time, you're used to me talking like this. People who are just joining us and wonder what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about inventory, right? These markets are about inventory and order flow. Inventory are the goods. In this case, it's ES contracts. Order flow is the flow of customers coming into the market. The chart tracks the interaction between the two, or the business, the sales, right? It's a sales chart. So it tells us that we were making sales higher 2 days ago, right? And we sold off, had a sale, right? We bought all that cheap stuff. We're selling it at night. Overnight inventory is almost 100% long. I'm good, AO. So here's the thing. You got to go with it. You got to go with the movement in inventory. And that's just how business is, right? So what AO says, there's $100 drop in gold. Well, that's good. It might bring in some buying, right? A little, a little inventory adjustment, right? That's all we're doing. Our trades are based on inventory adjustments, counter inventory adjustments, right? I was up this morning. I already took a trade, and I'm actually done for the day. Um, I'll show you what I did. Yeah, but overnight inventory is almost 100% long. It's about 98% long. We had a little adjustment down. Couldn't quite take out the close, right? Inventory's long, adjusts lower, can't take out the close, rotates back up. This thing is happening on this time frame, and that also happens on a 1 minute time frame. Why? Because the business never changes, my friends. The business is always the same. It has been the same for thousands of years. The algorithms and all that good stuff just make it more efficient, right? It makes the sales process more efficient. That's what algorithms do, right? They bring efficiency to sales. It's all just inventory. We're not creating anything, we're not building anything, we're just moving stuff that's made out of thin air back and forth. Just track the movement of the inventory and trade alongside. You won't make life will not be as difficult. So that's what we got tonight. Oh, so I bought the inventory correction on a look below and fail. And Cisco was with me this morning when it was like an hour and a bit ago, hour and a half ago. Yeah, it was just really simple, right? Market looks below 82, fails. I bought 82 and a half, 83. Bought a little size. Sold it as we went up to 85, 86. We're gone. Thanks. Bye. Didn't even take the whole thing. Now we got a nice little inventory correction lower. That's good. Oh, look at this. Action. Or as the penguin would say, action. Ah, point of control moved up. Good distribution. Right? Oh, this is nice. This is great. This is good to see. We never get this. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm looking for the close at 79 and 3/4. Let's see what they do here. I'm going to actually just trade the micro for the rest of the day. Let's see if we take out 82 and a quarter. See, Globex is back. Right? Globex is back, baby. Good inventory correction. Beautiful. Now let's see. Where's the bid? Last time we corrected inventory, the bid was at yesterday's point of control, to the tick. Now we sold some more paper up above VWAP, so we might have to clean up a little bit more. Very interesting. KH right to the same place. Look below and fail, maybe. I did not take it. I'm waiting for the next candle and I might be too late. Oh, you rat bastards. You didn't even wait around 82, 83 for me, did you? You dirty dog. Come on, backfill. Come on, back it up, back it up, back it up. You see, folks, these are just inventory corrections. I didn't want to buy the first candle because I always buy the first candle and get stopped out. This time I missed the trade. Let's see, where's the seller? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, back the truck back. Bring the ice cream truck back to 83. Come on. I am not buying you at 85. Don't play hard to get. Come on now. Nope, not going for it. Too fast. Too fast. Well, I wasn't fast enough. Let's rephrase that, trade maker. Market wasn't too fast. I just wasn't fast enough. But sometimes you miss the trade. I got the first one. I'm okay with the first one. I think the first one happened slower. I could see it developing. See, this one this is where I took it before. And you could see it develop, right? You could see it then it's like, oh, okay, all right. Are you in? Are you in? Get in the frickin' car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Okay. You know, this one was like, we're gone. Two different look below and fails. Right? This is a more caffeinated one. This one was like, okay, you're asleep. We'll hold the car for you. You know what? It's not. the setups, Thousand Gods. It's the speed and there's just really nice trading in Globex. It's because what happens is there's less competition, so there's less conflicting order flow, right? And sometimes after, like I'm a fast trader, I'm used to fast markets. So Globex, the other thing about Globex is the agenda is very clear during Globex, usually. Hey, nice work, Jirash. Right? Nice work. See, I told you, didn't I tell you that this journey, you'd spend a lot of time, just like boxing, getting punched in the face before you could land a hit, right? I told you, right? Now you're getting the timing. Now you're getting the timing, right? I love trading Globex. A lot of old traders hate it. They're like, but they trade a lot of size and they trade kind of, off the floor type style trading, and that probably is not. Globex is kind of like you're like a thief in the night, right? You come in, you steal a little bit of dough, out you go. But on that last look below and fail, I took a little bit of size. I mean, it was just sort of like I was like, oh, it's got that algo creep. Look at it how it crept up. So when it came back up, look, it just as soon as it took out those tops, I was long 82, 83. And I was just like, oh, okay. You could see how mechanical the market was. It faded, counter fade, dip, up, just beautiful. Whoever's writing the code for this thing, I must confess, as a candle maker myself, they're making some nice charts, you know. It's a good time to be alive as a retail trader if you can figure this out. The problem is the way this market is trading is it'll have that beautiful trade and then it'll just shut down, right? And then there's no follow through, right? When human beings were running these things, it was very emotional, right? So you'd usually have follow through over VWAP that would take that VWAP seller out. Now the VWAP seller, they're not going to get that lift that they used to get because the algo is going to stop right at VWAP. Boom, breaks. Carbon ceramic breaks like on a Porsche, right? You hit those brakes so hard it's going to put you right through the windshield. That's how the stopping force. In human beings, this thing would be up at 892 and then come back down, right? You'd have a lot more give and take because human beings get emotional and they overrun orders. Algos don't, you know. Makes it a lot better for us as retail traders because the market is a lot more precise and we get to, you know, take advantage of that precision by using smaller stops, which means cheaper operating costs for us as small business people. Right? There's an article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday talking about AI and trading. And they say machines don't have guts. They don't get greedy. They don't get scared. They just execute. Right? Gut feelings are for retirees sipping Mai Tais on the beach. Exactly. I don't even know what a Mai Tai is. What is my average stop when I took that trade? I was long 82 and a half to 83 on probably 10 contracts. And my stop was bottom of those candles. So the way I would work that, the way I work is I'm long. This is my warning level. So if I'm long 10 here and it takes out 82, I'm automatically off 5. Right? And then here's my hard out on the balance. No, no, no. You don't need an auto buy. You just need to be a little quicker. I between here and here, I went to the gym a little bit, and I'm just kind of relaxing because I made my money here. All I had to do was take the offer. There was plenty of time. If you rewind that, right? If you go and rewind that move, hey Tim, chart replay is great, eh? It's just the best thing, right? This way, it's like you're a linebacker and you get to watch tape, so you know what's going to happen. This is how I learned how to trade fast on ES, is by replaying charts, right? Right. Here's that liquidation, right? I'm playing this at 5 times speed. Boom, 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 right? So even at 5 times speed, right? Let me pause it. I'm going to go to real time. Of course, hindsight's always 20/20, but if you look at these things and you rewind charts, you can prepare yourself when you're dialed in to take the faster trades. You don't need any kind of auto buy. You just grab the offer. So you're expecting a reaction at the POC, right? So that's how you get ready, right? You're waiting here, and you're getting ready because you're waiting for a reaction here and a reaction here, right? Those levels are underneath 82, so that would be the look below. Tag, fail, come up, and that's when you come up and you get ready for your buy. You guys see what I'm talking about? Is this helping you? This is how you use chart replay in an intelligent manner, right? Here's the look below, right? Go on looking for that bid. Boom, there's the offer lifts, right? There's your signal. Boom, right? Offer lifts over 82. You're long. You grab it where it's offered 82 and a half, 83, right? You're long now. You're long, your stop's 82, you got a nice big candle. Put a sell order out at 86 and what's this level here? I should have known it before I was in the trade. Right? I know I'm going to sell before there because there's sellers there. There will be again. So if I'm long 83, 86, 5 contracts in, out, poke them in the eye, hit the bid, say goodnight. Rewinding is a beautiful thing. Chart replay is the best. It's just absolutely the best. You can look at areas that you missed trades, look at areas where you screwed trades up, right? You can totally, I'm going to drop an 80s reference here. You can totally Mike Singletary this thing. Hey, Raj. Now, if you guys don't know who Mike Singletary is, right? So there, I'm out. I'm out of the trade by now. That was, and I'm playing this at regular speed. So it's really not that fast. See? Yeah, chart replays is really where it's at, right? Found the seller again, boom, back down, right? It's a nice two-sided market this morning. Now we're looking for them to take the overnight low. We've corrected inventory. Let's see if we can correct any further. Taking out that overnight low, sorry, it's in the wrong place, at 79, which is now a poor low, right? Let's see if it breaks. If that breaks, you're looking for this O low from yesterday at the close at 75 and change, which is just right down here, right? Yeah, now we got trap longs, right? Because we jammed all these poor people with paper, right? Look, we took all of that. We took all of this cheap stuff that we bought yesterday, right? Almost like stale donuts. Got rid of some of it at the close. Got rid of the rest of it overnight. Sold it to all the drunk people. They puked it up. We're going to take it back down here and let's see if we can hold. This is the first distribution, right? This is the accumulation. This is the first distribution. This distribution brought in buyers, right? This told me that the markets were working normally. And that's why in the room last night, I put up this, and if you join our room, you'll get stuff like this so you can actually see what the hell's going to happen the next day, right? So last night, I put this in the room. I said, it's spec action. I said, there's the accumulation. There's the first distribution. This is what it's going to do in Globex, right? And there you have it, right? So I put this out at the close, told people what to do, and here we are, right? This is normal market mechanics, folks. This is normal market mechanics. Now that point of control, we're going to try and drop that down somewhere. We got a double bottom in the overnight, so there's competitive buying there. Now this looks like another look below and fail of 82, but are they going to fall for it 3 times in a row, right? Right? First time, second time. Are they going to go for it 3 times in a row? Can we get enough suckers to go for that long 3 times in a row? How short are the shorts coming into a Friday? Right? See how it's a little slower now? You don't get that big. So it might do this kind of thing again. It might do this slow creep. Right? The only thing when you do chart replay, it gets rid of anchored VWAP for some reason. It's very strange. It disappears. So look, we've already had action before London even opens, right? This is a decent Globex session. This is a decent Globex session. Nice to see. Excuse me. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I tell you guys to watch markets and not trade. Spend some time watching, reviewing, replaying charts. It'll pay off. I swear it'll pay off. Right? Getting back to Mike Singletary, he watched a lot of game film. One of the greatest linebackers who ever played the game. He knew exactly where the running back would be. He'd hit him before he even knew what was going on. Right? It's the same thing with rewinding charts. The business repeats itself. It's the same business. Whether it's on a 1 minute time frame or a daily time frame, it's just the movement of inventory. There you go, Dan. Da Bears. Right? He's not a baseball player. Linebacker. Football. Chicago Bears. 1980s. The monsters of the Midway. See? See how it's breaking down and failing? Yeah, I know. Everybody at this time of the day you guys are all soccer heads, right? I know, I know. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Right? Home of Raj's favorite team. Just see it if you're awake, Raj. Ugh. 85 Bears. Where is the fridge? Is the fridge still alive? Those were good days, Dan. 85 was a good year. Huh? See how we're going back and forth? Now, okay, riddle me this. What's happening right now? Right? We're going back and forth over the level. It's slow. So there's basically less customers coming in the store. That's why I wouldn't be taking a trade right now. Wait for the London Open and see if we can bring in some more clients. Resto, can we retrospectively look at yesterday's U.S. session? Globex is great, but I am not able to catch what is going on in the U.S. session. Beginnings of the move. Adjust my mind. Yeah. Good stuff, Jerry. No problem, brother. We'll see you later. It's Friday. Call me and check in later, even though it's been that kind of a week. Inventory right now is above us, Mike, and we need to shake it out, right? So what we need to do, it's like wringing out a towel. Like, when you get a towel that's wet, we want to wring all of this water down into bids here before we can do this again. So now we're just going to hang out and see what comes in, right? It's just going to go back and forth here. When London opens now, let's see if we can bring any business in. Now, Rasto, you realize, let me preface, Globex session is great, and you should be using Globex to make money, okay? RTH is going to take you a little bit of time. The reason RTH is going to take you time, and there's nothing wrong with not being able to catch what's going on in the U.S. session. I remember for years I didn't even trade the first hour, right? I would let the market open, A period, B period, and I'd let it build out some structure just because I couldn't see what was going on. The thing that made a difference for me was thinking about when I used to open up a stock for trading. Now, you guys don't have that experience, so you don't know things about the pre-opening auction and things like that. But before a market opens, there's something called a pre-open, and orders of interest get put in. The market will start exhibiting certain behaviors about movement. I'll track that movement using the stops. Now, London's open. There's the fail, right? Do you see how we just couldn't get lower? London opened. See, London opened right here and couldn't even get a tick lower, right? So you're looking for sellers right at that white line, my friends. Right there, right? So Rasto, what is it that you're having trouble with in RTH? All of RTH or the open? Let's try and narrow it down. And this is a good question. These are the kind of questions I want you guys to ask in the room. Nice work, Mother Truck. Just the open? Okay. Lately, the opens have been a little difficult, right? Because sometimes they take sometimes inventory will be short. You'll be looking for a long. Sometimes inventory is long and you're looking for a short, right? Exactly. Yesterday it opened and it just dumped, right? It just opened. Let's go take a look. Where the hell did we open? Oh, yeah. We opened here, right? We opened high, okay? So first clue, Rasto, right? Yesterday we had selling competition there, right? What was overnight inventory yesterday? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so as soon as we opened, right? Look at all of this inventory, right? We just got a ton of inventory. And it was actually short because that and that were underneath the close. So you get short inventory, but there's a ton of it. Now think about it this way. You got to take all of this and take it up here. That's going to be kind of hard. Think like this is a big bag of bricks and this is another big bag of bricks. And you got to carry it all the way up the hill. And as you walk up the hill, people are throwing rocks at your head. Can you visualize that? So as soon as we opened, right, we tried to walk up the hill, bonk, got hit with a big rock in the head, and then that's it, man. As soon as we took as soon as we took the overnight low, right? As soon as we took the overnight low, all of this, that was our piñata low. All of this came tumbling down, right? Just like a John Cougar Mellencamp song, right? When the walls come tumbling down, right? Another little 80s reference for you all, right? All of that inventory that was like being held by duct tape, right? That's like holding an airplane wing on with duct tape and Elmer's glue, right? That's going to break off, right? And that's why we got that dump. The analogy of rocks and bags and going uphill, that's from my actual old work experience. When I'd have to clean up a market and I'd be trying to take a stock up and everyone's selling and hitting me. You know, it's like a $5 stock. We're trying to clean it up back to 10. And it's like, oh, Knight's showing you 20. Knight's showing you 20. Sharp showing you 50. UBS is showing you 100. After a while, you know what you do, right? What you do is like as soon as you start trying to take it up, everyone's just pelting you with size, right? They're just banging you with both hands, right? Boom, boom, boom. So this is what you do as a trader, right? Right? And I learned this from my boss. We used to call him T-Bone, right? Okay, you want to sell? Really? You want to sell? Okay, let's sell, mother trucker. And you turn and you just bang and you start banging it out, right? And what you do is like they go to sell here, you sell here. They go to sell here, you go sell here. And you just take out their legs, right? Like it's like a nasty chop block in football. You take out their legs, right? And then you just force them into your bids here, right? You grab them by the back of the neck and you shake them out here, grab all their inventory and sell it back at night. That's how business works, right? You don't try and support if you're a trader and you got size, right? If you're a trader and you've got size, they don't think like retail. They're like they're long and they can't take it higher. We'll take it lower on you, right? We'll just start banging it down, right? And we will hold you underwater and make you puke it out at the bottom, right? Then we'll just buy it back and sell it at night. And that's how you make a market. It was the best time, Mike. I never made so much money in my life and never had so much fun and laughed so much. Even the horrible days were great. There's not a single day that I've woken up and dreaded going into work. No, it's a good question you're asking, Rasta. We need you guys to ask more questions like that when we're on stream because that's what the reality of what you guys are facing, right? You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? The only reason I know is because I used to work in the factory where they made the cookies, right? So I know how you make the cookie, right? Yeah, so like we'd be trying to clean up a stock and I'd be like, man, you'd be like, JJ, what's going on? I'm like, I'm getting hit everywhere, man. I'm just getting hit. I'm like Knight, Schwab, UBS, Sharp, Meyerson, they're all hitting me. Every single market maker is like, what am I, a freaking pinata? Right? He's like, okay, you know what to do. So we'd turn around and be from a buyer, and I'd be like, yeah, show him 100,000, show him 100,000, hit every single bid. And I would just wipe out all the bids. Just boom, 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 boom. Put an offer out for 1,000,000 shares. Take the stock down from 5 to 4. Show 1,000,000 shares at 4 on the offer, and then just hit every single bid and just scare the crap out of everybody and just shake the stock like a rag doll until they puke it all out. Right? That's trading. Right? Now it happens all electronically, so it's much more efficient. Right? Now the algos are programmed to do that. That's why you get this back and forth movement. Right? You're shaking everybody out of it. So we still have a poor low. London opened, went right up. Sellers right where we said they'd be, where that white line is. Right? So if you guys really want to trade, just trade between 82 and 86. Do the look below and fail of 82 up to 85, 86. That's all you're going to get for now, right? And then as the morning develops, wait and see what comes in, right? So we've done some decent business. Up, down, up, down. Let's just slow down a little bit. Were market makers friends outside trading? Yeah. Yeah, we were. There was something, it still exists, called the Security Traders Association, Staney. That was the New York one. So yeah, they used to have conventions, in New York or in Vancouver. They would have them, and they'd be like over a long weekend or something like that. We'd go up to Whistler, which is like a ski resort, but we'd go up there in the summer. I still remember when the head of compliance of the Vancouver Stock Exchange, we got him so drunk he got lost in the woods. We were all at breakfast. He comes walking in. He's covered in twigs. We're like, where the hell were you? Well, I was just walking. I couldn't find the hotel. I got lost in the woods, so I just decided to have a nap. He slept in the woods. Uh, Good times. Uh, it was great. And there was no cell phone cameras. Thank God for that. No cell phone cameras. You know, it, like the guys from Jersey would come up and guys from Staten Island. Hey, Travis. They'd be like one of the traders from one firm. Every time he got a certain level of drunk, he'd always take off his pants, right? So we'd know what time of night it was. He's taking off his pants. Yeah, oh, okay, it's around 11:30, right? That was just we were like wild dogs with money. So, and they're all young guys and girls. It was a good time. See, now it's slow. That's okay. This market's got some life. I'm hoping we get some more of these moves. Next week we get some more nice Globex moves. You know, 78 and 75. What's going on, Travis? Now, do you see? If you pay attention, check this out. Little things that'll help you in your trading. Just little details like, do you see the bottom of these candles? They can't get down to 82. Check it out. It's amazing how much a candle chart will tell you if you can pay attention. Look how these candles can't get down to 8 and print 82. That means there are buyers here, right? Buyers are coming in, right? Let's see if we can take out 84 and a quarter. Sorry, is that a quarter? No, that's half. I'm sorry. Break time. You out welding in the wilderness again? Oh, not a problem, Mike. It's a good thing that you're asking the question. Inventory right now is still long, my friend, because all the time and volume is still above the close. We dipped our toe under the close last time for 2 ticks. And the time before we've been under the close as we opened underneath the close, went 2 ticks down, boom, there's a bid at 79. So inventory is long and it's corrected. It hasn't corrected in a meaningful manner, not yet, because there's a pretty decent bid at 79. You want to watch that overnight low. Thanks, Travis. It's the only way that I've been able to be half-assed successful at retail trading is through discipline and process. Because I tried just winging it when I started. People are like, you got to journal. And I'm like, journal? What am I going to journal? What am I, a poet? You know, to bid or not to bid? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to be on the offer or smash all the. What am I going to do? Right? Journaling. I was like, what the hell is journaling? Right? All of that stuff, I was like, I made fun of it. You know, people would ask me, "What's your favorite trade setup?" "What's your favorite setup?" I would always go, "Oh, the FBI agent posing as a fund manager. That's my favorite setup." Right? And I was serious. I didn't know what's a setup. A setup means is when you're getting busted, like, you know. So I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn. You know. So the only way is through this doing the same thing every day. Oh God, I hated it. Because on the other side, you know, there's always a new drama. This client's got an issue. This Swiss bank's got a problem. You know, you're out on some trade. You know, someone's shorting one of your client's stocks. You got to go root around through the market, do a little forensic trading, figure out who's shorting, and how do we deal with it? Do we have to like, you know, can we threaten the guy? Do we have to negotiate? You know, all of those kind of things. That's what we used to do. Well, that's what I used to do, right? And you go from that to doing the same thing every day. It's like, ugh. But it has to be done. Yeah, I think I shocked a lot of people with that answer. What's your favorite setup? I'd be like, everyone's asking me what about setup. I thought, and you know, anyone who works with stock promoters and offshore bankers and you know people who hide money for a living, you're like naturally suspicious. They're like, what's your favorite setup? I'm like, what are you, a cop? Right? So the only thing that was, it was like, you know, it was like Joe Pesci becoming a trader, a retail trader, right? Who wants to know, right? Took a lot of time to learn how to be a regular, like how to be a citizen. Exactly. Because I could tell you right now, there are 3 guys in a diner in Jersey City or Staten Island right now who are planning some kind of caper in the market. I'll tell you that right now. I'll put money on it. Right? Sitting around a table drawing on a napkin. You know, how they're going to do a heist. You guys have heard of trading order flow, right? Has anybody heard of stealing order flow? Robbing order flow? Okay. So we used to do this. If you knew, like, say there was a new deal that was out, right? You know, penny stock stuff. And say it was like a Canadian promoter who had no experience in US trading. And that happened a lot after Bre-X in the 90s. So what we would do, right? They'd run a retail program, right? They'd pay somebody to bring buying in. But they didn't know anything about market making or trading, or they had a crappy executing trader. We wouldn't know what to do. So my market makers would call us up and go, "Hey, can I show you a bid on this stock?" And like, because they don't know who has an interest, but they know it's somebody in Canada. Like, what's the symbol? Yeah, I can show you a bid for 100,000 shares at $2, and we'd be like, sold. Do we own it? No, we didn't own it. The people who were running the deal, they'd say 200,000 shares go across the tape, or 100,000 shares at $2. Say it's 100 at two. They see it. They see a print. They're like, "That was our buy order," right? They start freaking out and they start to sell, right? And then you start tapping the bids a bit. Next thing you know, they're selling 200,000 shares. They sell the stock from $2 down to like, a dollar and a quarter or a dollar, maybe even 80 cents, and you cover them, right? That's stealing order flow. You steal somebody else's sell order, fill it, knowing that they're a desperate seller and they've got to puke. That's how a lot of market makers would make money back in the day. Nobody even talks about it now, right? That's stealing order flow. So when I tell you guys I'm familiar with order flow, not only do I trade it, but I used to steal it. So if you want to learn how to steal some order flow for yourself, come join us at the Trading Syndicate, right? You might as well get taught by someone who did it. Does that stuff happen still? Yes, it still happens. It happens electronically. It's much faster, much harder to detect, and that's why the people who write algos get paid huge amounts of money to keep that kind of thing from happening, right? So we're just kind of going back and forth here. Under VWAP accumulation. Gold. You're having fun in that gold market, eh? Ugh. Yeah, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the whole secret, the holy grail in retail trading, right? The secret in this whole business is routine and discipline. That's what the holy grail is. It's routine and discipline and doing the really boring work. That's the secret. There's nothing else. There's no magical algorithm or indicator or guru or whatever. The secret is discipline and repetition of good business habits. Get yourself a decent business plan, spend some time watching, learn how to enjoy watching a market. It's kind of like watching a soap opera, right? See, like right there. As soon as we came up to that white line, the offer lifted. Went right to the top of the next candle, and there's a seller right there. Market's moving slow enough you can see the buyers and sellers interacting. But are you paying attention? Or are you on TikTok? Right? One of my guys, I have to get him to do exercises where he takes his cell phone and puts it in the other room when he's trading. Right? Can't be looking at, you got to just zone in. Focus, discipline, right? Routine. All the boring stuff that I hated as a kid. That's the only way I've been able to make any money doing this. Right. Unfortunately, none of those things, routine, discipline, focus, they're not great marketing words. They're not great marketing words. Right. How do you make money trading? Well, do you have discipline? Oh God. And then you start losing them. How do you make money trading? Well, can you focus on something for more than 30 seconds? Losing more. How do you make money trading? Can you do the same routine over and over again every day? Ugh. Right? You've lost about 90% of your audience. I'd say there. That's your rotation right now. So let's go take this. Let's go sell it up here. See if we could go sell it up over 88. Here we go. Truck's loaded, right? This is where you load the truck. That's the loading dock. Now let's see if we can get out. It's going to be sellers here. That's going to be your first rest stop. Exactly, Rosto. Exactly. Oh. Well, folks, thank you so much for this week. There's not going to be an afternoon session today because I have to go to the cardiologist. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We got a lot of stuff changing in the next couple of weeks in our room. We're doing some good things. Please, I would invite you to come check out the room and spend some time with us. They're going to pull me a bit less and less off of YouTube and see if the people in the room respond to that. But I am around. So I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1 on X, and our room is thetradingsyndicate.org. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend if we don't see you. Stay out of trouble. Remember, Friday is for keeping all the money that you made this week. If you didn't make money this week, that's okay, as long as you didn't lose a lot of money, because there's always next week, right? Be long-term greedy, my friends. Be long-term greedy, okay? Long-term greedy. That's what wins the race, right? As my old Italian client Ezio would say, listen, kid, don't be greedy. A million here, a million there, it all adds up. Okay? Take them down one trade at a time. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.